This pod here has Canada's smallest prison cell. Look at that. See, that's the pee pot. They would have to pee in that.
Pee pot. This is what? This was the smallest cell?
That's smallest cell in Canada. In any prison in Canada. Look at that camera right there.
Look at the mirror. It's blocked with some bars. You know, all the mirrors that I've seen, for the most part, I don't know why inmates do it. They must be some ugly ass inmates or something. They don't like to see their own reflection because they scratch the mirrors up. Why do inmates scratch up mirrors? I have no idea. Some people like to keep their appearance upkept in prison, you know. Some of us don't fall apart into shambles when we get locked up. As a matter of fact, the majority of inmates, it's their get back season. They're going to come out of prison looking better than ever. They need that mirror. But look at this cell, y'all.
Let me just show you guys, if you were to sleep here, this is what it would look like. Look, this is all the freedom you would get throughout this cell over here.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't want to do that, alright? But to be completely honest, I was in a cell smaller than this. Picture this, okay? You see how this cell has about 6 feet depth to it? We'll remove 4.5 feet of depth, and the front door of this cell is nothing but metal mesh. They put me in a damn coffin before. I swear it was a coffin, the size of a coffin. This is as much as I can move. Left, right, back, and then I could sit down. There's a little bench in there. There was nowhere to lay. It was like a holding cell. At first, I thought it was just a funky-ass closet. They were mad at me, and they threw me in a closet. But, you know, once I got in there, I realized it's just like a little holding cell. But it's literally, I think a coffin has more room than that thing did. It was in Deep Meadows, too. I don't even know if they still use that damn thing. But turns out, I believe they put me in there because the hole was crowded already. And the hole in that prison was very small, so I think they were transferring some people to Powhatan or something. Now that I know the routine of things in that prison, I believe that's what it was. They were just keeping me there until the cell opened up. But this is a tiny-ass prison cell. What could you do with this, y'all? What would you do with this? Could you imagine sitting in a cell like that for years? With nothing. That's how they used to do people, man. And that ain't even the tip of the iceberg, man. I went to this place over in Pigeon Forge, right? You could go into this like museum type building. It's like Alcatraz. When you go in there, it's all about crime and punishment. And some of the punishments that this country used to do to people for the craziest things, like using the Lord's name in vain or something like that, they would cut off your tongue. Yeah, it was unbelievable to see the kind of punishments and the type of punishments that they used to do on people back in them days. We're very fortunate. Very fortunate. Welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23-1, ladies and gentlemen. For anybody that's new to this channel, we talk about all things prison and crime related. As you can see, we just witnessed Canada's smallest prison cell. And at the end of that clip, I said we are all very fortunate compared to what they used to have back in them days. And speaking of fortunate, let's really see how fortunate some inmates are across this world. Pack your bags, ladies and gentlemen. Get those leopard thongs ready, because we're going to Finland. Welcome to Finland, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have those leopards? You're gonna need that fur right about now.
This man is serving a life sentence for murder.
I'm sorry, I'm a little body conscious, as you can see. I've gained a few pounds.
A dip in the frozen lake behind the prison is part of his regular workout routine.
A little body conscience? Conscience? I can't say that word for shit. Conscience. Bruh, you look like the Finland version of the Universal Soldier. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Dude's accent and jumping straight into that ice like it's nothing is a little intimidating.
No problem.
No problem. It's okay.
Okay, your turn.
No.
There are no cell blocks here, just dormitories. Inmates come and go in their own cars.
Inmates come and go in their own cars. Let's keep in mind this man is doing life for murder. If that's what I heard correctly in the beginning.
When Matty isn't at the nearby university campus, he's in his dorm room, studying for a career in tech.
Some entrepreneurship books, marketing books, user experience, all kinds of digital and IT studies.
And we have this kind of normality principle that prisoners should be treated equally.
Can you imagine if the murderers in the United States were able to just come and go? Or work with the... See, that shit would never work over here. I guess... I don't know. If they gave us all this stuff, what do you think would happen? In the United States, if they gave us all this stuff, they allowed... they gave pretty much prisoners the same rights as citizens. You just got to go back to prison every day, for the most part. Do you think this shit would work in the U.S.? I mean, they kind of already do have it, but not for murderers. That's crazy, man. He can't be in there for some crazy, heinous murder. No way. Had it been some petty stuff that just turned out to be murder. I don't know. I have to do more research on this, but would this work in the U.S. in y'all's opinion? I gotta hear y'all's thoughts on this.
In recent years, Finland has been named the happiest and safest country in the world. Citizens here enjoy generous public benefits, universal healthcare, subsidised daycare for children, and free college tuition.
Damn! That's a lot of free stuff, man. What's their population like out there? Can't be that crowded. Can't be.
Promotional films like this.
And then where are they getting the money for this? Where is their government getting the money for all this, right? Do they have some kind of secret funds somewhere?
And the incarceration rate here is one of the lowest in Europe, a quarter of what it was in 1950. A 2018 bill included sentencing reforms meant to reduce what is referred to as recidivism.
Recidivism. Have a hard time saying that sometimes as well.
The scale, of course, is different. Today there are fewer than 3,000 in the Finnish prison system. The number of people behind bars in the US is equal to half of Finland's total population.
There you go.
A reimagining of what prison looks like.
That's why. They have nowhere near the same amount of people locked up, and they have nowhere near amount of people in their country as we do. We have much more people. And believe it or not, that's a really huge factor in almost every aspect of life. When you got a lot of people, a lot of mouths to feed, and a lot of different mindsets with different agendas, different religious beliefs, shit can get crazy, man. All kinds of bad things under the sun can happen when people are not in one accord. I don't know nothing about Finland. Nothing at all. So I can't sit over here and speak on, their structure and their type of people or their way of life. But if I were to guess, if I were to take a big guess on Finland, they're probably on more of a one-mind accord than we are. Just if I were to make a guess.
In some of the latest steps, Finland's Criminal Sanctions Agency is investing heavily in technology training.
The first topic is what is AI? Then the second topic, problem solving with AI.
And building a state-of-the-art smart prison for women.
Dang.
And even testing VR to provide an escape from the drab walls and fluorescent lighting of Turku, Finland's highest security closed prison.
Turku. This is Finland's highest security closed prison. In most prisons over here in your highest level security, shit, some of them bring the showers to you. Some of them read the letters, your letters on a projector on the wall. You won't even get your letters. But as you can see in Finland, they get VR.
Is walking through a 3D forest.
Kamala ottaa nuo lasit pois tiedäksä palata tähän todellisuuteen taas.
He says, but it's cropped out. It's terrible to be in the forest and then take them off and return here.
He appreciates the chance to interact with VR technology and learn the basics of working with computers, investing in the infrastructure to support that readjustment. A €34 million prison that many hope will set the standard for the future. No bars, glass windows, an internet connection in every room.
Damn!
And small touches meant for comfort. For Matti, the road to reform has led him to a career that he would never have dreamed of before.
See, we just saw Finland's most secure prison. He's not in there, and he's a murderer. But see how they opened up the video with murderer is coming and going from the prison that he's in, doing all this good stuff, but he's not in a max level prison. Obviously, his crime of murder had to been some kind of different, not so much of a heinous crime, or else he'd be in that maximum security prison. You know, just playing with a little bit of VR, which is still good for maximum security. But you see how they kind of shaped the video for you to think that possibly all murderers get this kind of treatment, learning about AI and stuff like that. I don't think every murderer gets this kind of treatment.
And a lot of prisoners have already the entrepreneurial mindset.
Based on Matti's recommendations, Reactor is planning to add an entrepreneurship course to the prison curriculum. But he is excited for the future.
At the beginning of my sentence, I thought that there can only be negative things in being in prison, that basically life is over. But I think you should give people a chance. That's the most important thing.
Unfortunately, man, people do get chances. I see it every day. People are getting released on parole, and the next day they kill 4 or 5 people. There's something that we're not seeing, right? There's something that we're not seeing that's keeping their prison system in check for the most part, non-violent compared to the US prisons. There's got to be a missing link. And once you figure out that missing link, then you'll understand that half the stuff they're doing over there will never work over here. It just won't. I mean, they already have somewhat kind of programs like this in the US, but it's for very low-level prisoners. Never for anyone high-level or violent. You know, if you got a simple felony violent charge, if you just broke someone's nose, you're going to go to a higher level prison, probably level 3, because it's a violent felony, and then you'll work your way down to a 2. Violent offenders in most US prisons are removed from the majority of programs that they got for inmates. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. Go check out Teespring, buy yourself some Lockdown 23-in-1 merchandise. And as always, I salute to every last one of you who've been supporting me since the beginning, and everybody who's just now joining the Lockdown compound. Y'all be easy, be safe, stay free.